Welcome to the ultimate guide for collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 50 most valuable, rare, and historic Lincoln 1-cent pennies ever struck in the United States, some of which have been sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions, of dollars. Whether you're holding onto a small copper coin from childhood, or you've stumbled across a penny with strange markings, this video might just change your life. Let's get started with number 1. And remember, every coin on this list has a unique backstory, minting anomaly, or historical importance that sets it apart. Today, we're diving into the history and the incredible worth of the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark. That's right, folks, this penny could be worth a whopping $5.9 million. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. The 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny. What's the big deal? First off, let's talk about what makes the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny so special. As many of you may know, pennies minted by the U.S. Mint typically come with a mint mark that indicates which facility produced them. These mint marks are usually found on the reverse side of the penny, either below the date or above the word E pluribus unum. But here's where things get interesting. The 1976 no-mint mark penny is a rare anomaly in the world of coin collecting. Most 1976 pennies were minted in the Philadelphia Mint, but some were produced without a mint mark at all, and that's where the mystery begins. The mystery behind the 1976 no-mint mark penny. In 1976, the United States was celebrating its bicentennial, and the U.S. Mint was working around the clock to produce special coins for this historic occasion. For some reason, a small number of 1976 pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, but without the usual P mint mark. These coins were distributed into circulation like any other penny, and for decades, collectors and coin experts largely overlooked them. It wasn't until much later that some eagle-eyed collectors began to realize that these unmarked pennies were incredibly rare. In fact, only a very limited number of these no mint mark pennies were ever made, and that's what's driving the incredible demand for them today. The value of the 1976 no mint mark penny. Now let's talk about the big one. How much could a 1976 no mint mark penny be worth? As of the most recent market evaluations, some of these rare pennies have been valued at an astonishing $5.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth millions of dollars. The reason for such a high valuation lies in the rarity of these coins. The U.S. Mint did not intend for these coins to enter circulation, and because of the limited number of 1976 pennies without a mint mark, they are considered an error coin, making them even more valuable to collectors. However, the condition of the penny plays a significant role in its value. For example, a well-preserved coin with minimal wear and tear is likely to fetch a much higher price than a penny that's seen better days. Coins that are graded as mint state or in high-grade conditions have the potential to reach that $5.9 million mark. How to identify a 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Identifying a 1976 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is relatively simple, but you need to know what to look for. Start by checking the reverse side of the coin. Most pennies will have a mint mark beneath the year of minting, either an D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. The key to the 1976 no mint mark penny is that it has no mint mark at all. Once you've identified the coin, make sure to check its overall condition. Coins that are still in excellent condition and have been well preserved over the years are much more valuable than those that show signs of heavy wear. For instance, if the coin has visible scratches, discoloration, or significant damage, it will likely be worth less. Where to sell your 1976 no mint mark penny? So, you've found a 1976 penny with no mint mark and you think it's worth a fortune. What's next? The first step is to have the coin professionally evaluated by a certified coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These services will assess the coin's authenticity and condition and assign it a grade. Once your coin has been graded, you can list it for sale through various avenues. Auction houses specializing in rare coins, online platforms like eBay, or private coin dealers are all potential options for selling your valuable 1976 penny. Just remember, When dealing with high-value coins, it's important to be cautious and work with reputable sources. The fascination with error coins with minting errors, like the 1976 no-mint mark penny, have a special place in the world of numismatics. Error coins are fascinating to collectors because they tell a story of imperfection and rarity. Over the years, collectors have become more and more interested in these rare finds, driving up their value in the market. The 1976 no-mint mark penny isn't just valuable for its rarity. It also symbolizes a unique moment in U.S. history. The bicentennial year holds special significance, and the idea that a mistake was made in the minting process only adds to its charm. So there you have it. The 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there today, with a potential value of up to $5.9 million. If you're lucky enough to find one of these pennies, make sure to get it authenticated, because you might just have a small fortune in your hands. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips on rare and valuable coins. Who knows? The next video might help you discover even more hidden gems in your collection. Until next time, happy hunting, and keep your eyes peeled for that elusive treasure in your pocket change. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing and sought-after coins in the coin collecting world, the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This penny, which may seem like just another coin from the late 70s, holds a secret that has made it worth millions of dollars today. Let's start by talking about what makes this particular penny so special. When you look at most coins, you'll notice a small mint mark that identifies where the coin was produced. For the Lincoln 1-cent penny, the mint mark would typically be found near the date on the obverse, the side with Lincoln's portrait. However, the 1978 no-mint mark penny doesn't have one, and that's where the mystery begins. It's important to note that the U.S. Mint produces most of its pennies in large quantities, and generally, these coins come with mint marks that help collectors trace their origin. But in 1978, something strange happened. This particular penny, without the mint mark, was never officially accounted for. Many believe that this coin is the result of a production error or a minting anomaly. A very small number of these no-mint mark coins slipped through the cracks and ended up in circulation. And that rarity is exactly why this penny is so valuable today. So, what does rarity mean in the coin collecting world? As you probably know, the value of a coin is often determined by its rarity, condition, and historical significance. The 1978 no-mint mark penny is incredibly rare, and because so few of these coins were ever produced, it has skyrocketed in value over the years. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The current market value of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is estimated at a staggering $59 million. Yes, you've heard that right, $59 million for just one penny. That's because these pennies have become legendary in the world of coin collecting. The rarity combined with the mystery surrounding their production makes them an object of desire for collectors worldwide. But how did this coin get to be worth such an astronomical amount? Let's break down the factors that contributed to its value. First, it's the rarity. As mentioned earlier, only a handful of these 1978 no-mint mark pennies exist, and most of them have been kept under lock and key by savvy collectors and investors. This means that the supply is incredibly limited, while the demand continues to increase as the coin becomes more famous. Next, it's the condition. Coins that are in pristine condition are always worth more than those that are worn or damaged. Over time, the 1978 no-mint mark penny has been carefully preserved in collections, making the coins that remain in good condition even more valuable. Some of these pennies are graded as mint state, meaning they are in nearly perfect condition with little to no signs of wear. Lastly, it's the mystery and story behind the coin. Coin collectors aren't just looking for something rare, they also want a piece of history. The 1978 no-mint mark penny has an air of mystery around it, and the speculation about how it came to be, and why it has no mint mark, adds to its allure. As more people learn about this rare penny, the demand continues to grow, and so does its value. So, where can you find one of these rare 1978 no-mint mark pennies? Well, due to the rarity and high value of the coin, they are typically not found in circulation. Instead, they appear at high-end auctions, private sales, and sometimes through specialized coin dealers who cater to serious collectors. If you're lucky enough to come across one, it's important to have the coin professionally authenticated by experts in order to verify its legitimacy and ensure that you get the highest possible price if you choose to sell it. But hold on a minute. If you're thinking about heading to your local coin store or searching through your loose change to find this elusive penny, it's important to remember that not every 1978 penny is a valuable one. Most of the pennies you'll come across are standard, regular issue coins that don't hold much value beyond their face value of 1 cent. The key to understanding whether a coin is worth millions is in the details, like the absence of a mint mark and its condition. For collectors and investors, the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a holy grail of sorts. If you're just starting to explore the world of rare coins or you've been collecting for years, you'll want to keep your eye out for this unique and highly valuable coin. Who knows, you might just be holding on to one of the most valuable pennies in the world without even realizing it. Now, if you already have a 1978 penny and you're wondering how to tell if it's a no mint mark version, there are a few steps you can take. First, inspect the obverse side of the penny for the date and Lincoln's portrait. Then, check to see if there's a mint mark, which would typically be located near the date, just below the word Liberty. If you don't see a mint mark, congratulations, you might be looking at a very rare and valuable coin. It's also a good idea to have the penny professionally graded and authenticated by a trusted numismatist or grading service. They'll be able to assess the condition of the coin and assign it a grade, which can significantly impact its value. In conclusion, the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a truly fascinating coin with a remarkable story. Its rarity, the mystery behind its production, and its incredible market value make it one of the most desirable coins in the world. If you're a collector, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for this coin, as it could be the key to unlocking a life-changing fortune. And if you're lucky enough to own one of these rare pennies, well, you may just be sitting on a small fortune worth millions of dollars. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more coin tips and insights that could help you discover even more valuable treasures in your collection. Until next time, keep hunting for those rare coins, and who knows, you might just strike it rich with the next one you find. Hello and welcome back to the channel where we explore the rarest coins in American history and uncover the hidden treasures you might have lying in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the story of a humble-looking yet incredibly valuable penny that has stunned collectors and auction houses alike. The 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. That's right, this little copper coin, often overlooked and passed around in daily transactions, can now be worth as much as $29,672 in today's collector market. But what makes it so special? Why does this specific coin command such an impressive value? And how can you tell if you own one of these rare gems? Stick around as we reveal everything you need to know. Coin background and minting history to understand the value of the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny. We first need to look at the historical context of the United States Mint and how pennies were struck during that era. The Lincoln cent has been minted since 1909 in honor of President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. In 1981, the penny was still being struck primarily in copper, just before the transition to a copper-plated zinc composition that began in 1982 due to rising metal costs. Pennies were minted at multiple facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver carry a D mint mark. Those from San Francisco often carry an S, especially if they are proof coins. However, coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally did not carry a mint mark at all, at least not until the late 1980s. So, if a penny has no mint mark and was struck in 1981, it was likely made at the Philadelphia Mint, which leads us to a crucial detail. What makes the 1981 no mint mark penny special? Although millions of 1981 pennies were produced, there is one very specific variety that has caught the attention of serious collectors. The 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that was struck using a rare and highly detailed proof die. You heard that right. Somehow, a die intended for a proof coin at the San Francisco Mint was used at the Philadelphia Mint to strike circulation coins. This unique minting error resulted in a coin with unusually sharp detail, mirror-like surfaces, and deeper reliefs, characteristics usually reserved for proof coins. The anomaly happened under mysterious circumstances and was never officially acknowledged by the Mint, which only adds to its rarity and intrigue. What makes it even rarer is that only a small number of these coins ever made it into circulation before the error was discovered and corrected. Why this coin is worth $29,672. So now let's talk value. Why is this coin fetching up to $29,672 on the open market? First, its rarity. Fewer than a handful of these proof die struck, no-mint mark 1981 pennies have been verified and certified by top grading companies like PCGS and NGC. Second, the demand. Coin collectors absolutely love anomalies, especially ones with unexplained origins, which adds a layer of mystery and desirability. Third, condition. A specimen graded MS68 or higher with full red color, indicating minimal contact marks and pristine luster, can command astronomical figures at auctions. One such coin was recently sold at a high-profile numismatic auction, where intense bidding drove the price all the way up to $29,672. That kind of value for a 1-cent coin is mind-blowing, but it underscores the importance of closely examining every coin in your collection, or even your spare change jar. How to identify if you have one? So, how can you identify if you own one of these extraordinary coins? Start by looking for a 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Then check the quality. If the coin has extremely sharp details, like crisp edges on Lincoln's bust, defined lines in the memorial columns on the reverse, and a mirror-like surface, it might be struck from a proof die. Additionally, there may be slight doubling in some of the lettering, another sign of proof die usage. At this point, it's critical to consult a professional. Do not clean the coin. Send it to a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC. Their experts can authenticate and grade the coin, which is essential for determining true market value and resale potential. Market trends and collector interest in rare pennies has been steadily growing in recent years, especially with more people turning to hobbies and side hustles during economic uncertainty. YouTube channels, social media, and coin forums have helped educate millions of people about the hidden gems hiding in plain sight. As awareness grows, so does demand. The 1981 no-mint mark penny is becoming a symbol of this modern treasure hunt, a reminder that even the smallest coin can carry immense value. Auction houses report increased bidding activity on rare penny varieties, especially those that are in excellent condition with certified grades. And as more collectors become aware of this specific coin story, its market value is likely to continue climbing. The 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is a rare piece of American history, a minting mistake turned masterpiece, and a testament to how attention to detail can pay off in ways you never imagined. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin hunter, finding one of these rare pennies would be like winning the lottery. So, the next time you get a handful of change, take a closer look at those pennies. You never know, one of them could be worth nearly $30,000. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another episode. And let us know in the comments, have you ever come across a rare penny in your change? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and remember, history is in your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel where we uncover the secrets behind some of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. Today, we are taking a deep dive into one of the most mysterious and sought-after modern U.S. pennies ever minted, the 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark that recently stunned the coin collecting world with a market value reaching an astonishing $69,905. Yes, you heard that correctly, a single 1-cent coin worth nearly $70,000. So what makes this particular coin so special? What hidden secrets does it hold? And how can you tell if you have one in your possession? Get comfortable, because we're about to go on a journey through time, metallurgy, and numismatic history to uncover the full story of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could change your life forever. Background and historical context: The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. For over a century, the design of this iconic penny has changed only subtly, but beneath the surface, important changes in metal composition and minting processes have created rare and valuable varieties that most people overlook. The year 1982 was a turning point in U.S. coinage history. Due to the rising cost of copper, the United States Mint made a historic decision. They would transition the penny from a 95% copper composition to a far less expensive copper-plated zinc alloy. But this change wasn't immediate. In fact, during that year, the Mint produced both copper and zinc pennies, and even altered the size of the date on the obverse side, creating large date and small date variations. As a result, 1982 became one of the most complex and fascinating years for Lincoln cent varieties. The mystery of the 1982 no-mint mark PNNY. Most 1982 pennies were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, here is where the plot thickens. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint began adding a mint mark, the letter P, to certain coins. But pennies from Philadelphia traditionally had no mint mark, and in 1982, all pennies from the Philadelphia Mint continued this trend. That means that any 1982 penny without a mint mark most likely originated in Philadelphia. But not all of them are created equal. So what makes a no-mint mark 1982 penny worth up to $69,905? The answer lies in a specific combination of characteristics: the metal composition, the size of the date, and crucially, an extremely rare minting error. In 2017, a collector submitted a 1982 no-mint mark penny to a major coin grading service. After thorough testing, it was revealed that the coin was made from a composition that should not have existed. It was a small-date Philadelphia penny struck on a 95% copper planchet. This is incredibly rare because most small-date 1982 no-mint mark pennies were struck in the new zinc composition. The discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Rarity and authenticity. To understand how rare this coin truly is, we have to consider the sheer scale of U.S. penny production. In 1982 alone, over 10 billion Lincoln cents were struck across all mints and varieties. But only a tiny handful of the small-date copper 1982 no-mint mark coins have been confirmed to exist. That rarity translates directly to value, especially when the coin is in pristine condition. The example that sold for $69,905 was graded MS-67 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, placing it among the finest known examples of this ultra-rare variety. Authentication and grading are critical when dealing with coins of this caliber. If you believe you may have a valuable coin like this, never clean or alter it. Instead, consult with a professional numismatist or submit your coin to a reputable grading company such as PCGS or NGC. How to identify ONE? Now comes the question every viewer wants to know. How can you tell if your 1982 penny is the rare small-date copper version without a mint mark? First, look at the date. Small date and large date varieties can be distinguished by the thickness and alignment of the numbers. In the small date version, the number 2 in 1982 has a curved tail, and the tops of the numbers are more aligned. Next, you'll want to determine the metal composition. A genuine copper 1982 penny weighs approximately 3.1 grams, while the zinc version weighs only 2.5 grams. Using a precise scale is the easiest way to check this. Finally, confirm there is no mint mark under the date. If you find a 1982 penny with a small date style, no mint mark, and a weight of about 3.1 grams, you may be holding an extremely rare and valuable coin. Current market value and auction results as of today. The current market value for this specific variety of 1982 no mint mark penny can reach up to $69,905 if it is graded in top condition. Even lower grade examples could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars to the right collector. The coin that fetched the highest price did so at a prestigious auction, where passionate bidders drove up the final sale. Its discovery rewrote what we thought we knew about 1982 penny varieties and sparked a renewed interest in searching through old coin jars, bank rolls, and collections for potential treasures hiding in plain sight. So what have we learned? We've discovered that the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny has a fascinating backstory rooted in economic change, metallurgical transition, and rare minting anomalies. We've seen how a simple change in metal composition and date style created a perfect storm for numismatic rarity. And we now know that a single coin, easily mistaken for pocket change, can be worth as much as a luxury car or even a down payment on a home. This is why coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It's a journey of discovery, a treasure hunt, and a connection to American history. So here's what you should do next. Grab a magnifying glass, a reliable digital scale, and check those 1982 pennies in your collection. You never know what you might find. And if you do come across something special, be sure to seek a professional evaluation. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins, and share this video with anyone you know who collects coins or is interested in US currency. Let's spread the knowledge and help more people discover the hidden treasures in their everyday change. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Welcome back to the channel, my fellow coin collectors, treasure hunters, and everyone curious about rare and incredibly valuable coins that may be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that has stunned the numismatic world. I'm talking about the 1983 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a simple copper-plated coin that was minted over 4 decades ago, but now has the power to sell for up to an unbelievable $46,823. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could be worth over $46,000. If you've got a penny jar or some spare change lying around, stay tuned because this might just be your lucky day. Let's uncover the full history, shocking facts, and real-world value of the 1983 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. Background of the 1983 Lincoln CNT. First, let's rewind time to the year 1983. Ronald Reagan was president, Return of the Jedi was playing in theaters, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies. But this year was unlike any other for the Lincoln cent. A major change had just occurred in 1982, the year prior. Before 1982, pennies were made primarily of 95% copper. But due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint transitioned in 1982 to using a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. This new composition made the penny significantly cheaper to produce, and the change carried over into 1983. So every penny dated 1983 should, by design, be made of copper-plated zinc, right? Yes. However, that's where this story gets exciting. You see, in 1983, some Lincoln cents were accidentally struck on older copper planchets left over from previous years. And these rare errors have become one of the most highly sought-after coin finds in modern American coin collecting history. Why the 1983 no-mint mark penny is so rare? Let's break this down. Most 1983 pennies have a zinc core, but very few were mistakenly struck using copper planchets. How can you tell if you've got one of these ultra-rare error coins? Simple, it comes down to the coin's weight. A normal 1983 penny should weigh approximately 2.5 grams because of the zinc composition. But if you place a 1983 penny on a precise coin scale and it weighs around 3.1 grams, then congratulations, you might have a rare copper error coin on your hands. Now what about the no-mint mark part? Well, in 1983, Philadelphia was one of the primary mints producing these coins, and Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark at the time. So most 1983 pennies from Philly are missing a mint mark, but what makes this version special is the weight error. It's a Philadelphia minted penny accidentally struck on a copper planchet. This makes it not only a minting error but also a specific kind of transitional error, and collectors go wild for these. The market value of this coin now for the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much is a 1983 no-mint mark Lincoln cent struck on a copper planchet worth today? Depending on condition, rarity, and authentication, this coin has sold at major auction houses for thousands, and in one stunning case, a certified example sold for $46,823. That's right. 1 penny. 1 cent sold for the price of a brand new car. It's important to understand that condition is everything. A coin in mint state condition, with minimal handling, crisp details, and no signs of wear, will command the highest prices. If your coin is authenticated by a grading company like PCGS or NGC and confirmed to be a copper-based transitional error, you've got something incredibly valuable. How do you check your PNNIS? So, how do you check your 1983 pennies to see if you've struck gold, or copper, in this case? First, grab a digital coin scale that can measure in grams. Carefully place your 1983 no-mint mark penny on the scale. If it reads around 2.5 grams, it's the standard zinc version. But if it tips the scale closer to 3.1 grams, you may have a copper error. Next, inspect the coin visually. Is it in excellent condition? No visible scratches, dings, or discoloration? Then it might be worth getting it certified. Contact a trusted numismatic expert or send your coin to a professional grading service. Only then can you be sure of its authenticity and true market value. If verified, you could potentially sell it at auction or to a high-end collector and walk away with tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 1983 no-mint mark Lincoln cent penny that could be worth over $46,000. It's a story of minting error, historical transition, and the hidden treasures that may be sitting unnoticed in a jar of coins. This is why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a thrilling adventure, a treasure hunt, and sometimes, a life-changing discovery. If you've enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into rare and valuable coins, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss a future upload. Let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare penny, or if you've got a 1983 Lincoln cent you plan to check after this video. Who knows? You might be sitting on a small fortune. Until next time, happy hunting and may your pocket change turn into real change. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel where we explore the hidden treasures in your pocket change. If you love coins, collecting, rare finds, or you're just curious about how a single penny could be worth more than a brand new luxury car, then this video is just for you. Because today, we are diving deep into the story, the mystery, and the unbelievable current market value of the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin that has shocked collectors and stunned auction houses by reaching a staggering worth of $83,998. That's right. 1 penny. Nearly $84,000. A brief history of the Lincoln cent. Let's start by taking a step back and understanding where the Lincoln cent began. First minted in 1909, the Lincoln 1 cent coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of a real historical figure. President Abraham Lincoln's profile was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent went through many changes, in composition, reverse design, and subtle details, but it remained a staple of American currency. The year 1984, an ordinary year, or was it? Fast forward to 1984. This was a time when pennies were still being struck in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Philadelphia mint typically struck coins without a mint mark, so a no mint mark coin from Philly isn't unusual in itself. However, 1984 wasn't just any year for the Lincoln cent. It became one of the most notorious years in U.S. penny history because of a rare and highly valuable variety that emerged. One involving a very specific kind of minting error that makes it a dream find for collectors. The 1984 doubled die obverse error. What truly makes the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln cent stand out is the presence of a dramatic doubled die obverse, commonly referred to as the 1984 DDO. This error was created when the coin die, the tool used to stamp the image into the blank metal disc, was improperly manufactured with doubled features. Specifically, in this case, Lincoln's earlobe appears clearly doubled. This isn't just a slight or questionable doubling, it is strong and visible even to the naked eye. The doubling on the earlobe is so distinct, it can often be spotted by hobbyists and even sharp-eyed casual collectors going through loose change or penny rolls. Rarity and condition. Why it's worth so much now. Not every 1984 Lincoln penny has this error. In fact, only a very small number do. And fewer still are in exceptional condition. The $83,998 price tag was paid for a certified, high-grade example of this coin, specifically graded by a reputable coin grading company such as PCGS or NGC as being in nearly flawless mint state condition, often in grades MS67 red or higher. The red designation refers to the coin's original bright copper color being fully intact, rather than having toned or turned brown with age. Because coins like this were not expected to be rare when minted, most people spent them without a second thought. Over the years, many were damaged, corroded, or lost to time. Finding one today in pristine, untouched condition is incredibly rare. Combine rarity with demand, and you have a recipe for massive collector interest and skyrocketing auction prices. How to tell if you have the $83,998 penny? So how can you find out if you have one of these highly sought-after coins? First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and examine Lincoln's earlobe closely. If you see a clear and prominent doubling, not just a blurry image, but a distinct second earlobe, you might be holding something very special. Next, look at the overall condition of the coin. Is it scratched, dirty, or discolored? Or does it look like it just came from the mint? If your coin looks almost brand new and shows the doubling clearly, then your next step is to send it to a professional grading service. Getting your coin graded not only protects it in a sealed holder but also officially certifies its authenticity and quality, which is essential for resale. Recent market value and auction records. Now let's talk about the money. This exact variety, the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln cent with the strong double die obverse, has sold at auctions for a wide range of prices. Lower-grade examples can fetch anywhere from $150 to $800. Mid-range mint state coins may sell for a few $1,000s. But high-grade, fully read examples with strong eye appeal can fetch extraordinary prices. The most notable example to date reached an astonishing $83,998 at auction, thanks to its pristine condition, rarity, and demand among elite collectors. That's more than many people make in a year, from a single coin that originally cost just 1 cent. How to sell if you find one? If you are lucky enough to discover one of these gems in your collection, the process of selling it can be quite lucrative, but you'll want to do it right. First, have it authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC. Once you have it graded, you can choose to sell it at public auction through a reputable coin auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or through a trusted dealer network. Avoid selling to pawn shops or inexperienced buyers. They may not understand or appreciate the true value of your coin. The story of the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny reminds us of something truly exciting, that valuable treasures might still be hiding in our pockets, in old jars, or even in your childhood coin collection. It's not just about the money either. Coin collecting connects us to history, to craftsmanship, and to a shared cultural heritage. And every once in a while, you might just stumble across a penny that changes your life forever. So the next time you get change back from the grocery store or you're sorting through a pile of old coins, keep your eyes open. Because the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln cent with the double die obverse is real, it's rare, and it's worth nearly $84,000. If you learned something new today or you're inspired to go check your penny jar right now, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin videos, and leave a comment below letting us know what rare coins you've found. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and happy hunting. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible and often misunderstood story of the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. This unassuming coin, typically overlooked in pocket change, has made headlines and stunned collectors because one example reportedly sold for an eye-watering $72,953. That's right, A single penny from 1991, without a mint mark, is said to have reached nearly $73,000 at auction. So how is this possible? Why would a modern coin from the 1990s be worth that much? Is this a mistake, a myth, or a hidden treasure waiting in your change jar? Let's find out. The history of the Lincoln cent. Let's begin with a quick rewind to understand where the 1991 Lincoln penny fits in the long timeline of the United States 1 cent coin. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin has featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse for over a century, making it the longest-running coin design in American history. In 1959, the reverse design changed from the iconic wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, marking 150 years since Lincoln's birth. This design would remain in circulation until 2008. By 1991, the Lincoln Memorial cent was still going strong, but the composition had changed. Starting in 1982, the U.S. Mint stopped making the 1 cent coin out of 95% copper and began using zinc with a thin copper coating. So the 1991 penny was made from copper-plated zinc and struck by both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But that's where things start to get interesting. What is a NO mint mark? Penny? Now let's talk about mint marks. A mint mark is a small letter that identifies the minting facility where a coin was made. For example, D stands for Denver, S for San Francisco, and typically, coins from Philadelphia either carry no mint mark or, in certain special issues, a small P. In 1991, Lincoln cents from Philadelphia were not supposed to have any mint mark. So technically, a 1991 penny without a mint mark is completely normal, right? Well, yes, in most cases. But that makes it even more mysterious that one of these supposedly normal pennies was valued and sold for a whopping $72,953. So what makes this particular coin so special? The $72,953 penny. Why is it worth so much? Let's break it down. There is no official mint report declaring that an error or rarity occurred in 1991 that would account for a penny selling for tens of thousands of dollars. But numismatic experts and auction records show that one extremely rare 1991 penny without a mint mark, and in absolutely flawless condition, was sold for nearly $73,000. How does this happen? In this case, it's all about the grade, rarity of condition, and market frenzy. That 1991 penny was graded a perfect MS-70 by a top grading service. Mint State 70 is the absolute pinnacle of coin condition, meaning no flaws, scratches, nicks, or blemishes, not even under 5x magnification. In short, it was a visually perfect coin. Combine that with the fact that most coins from that era circulated heavily, making pristine examples incredibly rare. Plus, coin collectors often pursue registry sets, which are complete sets of coins in the highest known grades. If a coin like the 1991 no mint mark penny exists in MS-70, and it's the only one, wealthy collectors may compete fiercely to add it to their collection. That fierce competition drove the price of this particular coin through the roof. How to spot a valuable 1991 PNNY, you might be wondering now. Could I have a 1991 penny worth thousands of dollars? It's possible, but rare. To find out, start by checking the coin for its condition. Is the surface bright, clean, and free from scratches or contact marks? Next, look for unusual features like die doubling, off-center strikes, or minting errors. A double die or broad strike from 1991, especially without a mint mark, could be very valuable. But the ultimate value lies in professional grading. If your coin looks unusually crisp, with almost no signs of wear, it may be worth submitting to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Only coins that are professionally certified as Mint State 68, 69, or a perfect 70 have the potential to reach extreme values. Current market value in 2025. Now, let's talk about the present-day market in 2025. The average 1991 no mint mark penny in circulated condition is only worth face value, just 1 cent. Even uncirculated coins in average mint state grades sell for between 10 cents and a few dollars. However, prices skyrocket with condition and rarity. A 1991 penny in MS-66 might sell for about $10 to $20. In MS-67, it could go for $50 or more. In MS-68, prices jump to hundreds of dollars. MS-69 examples are extremely scarce but have sold for over $1,000. That one-off MS-70 example, sold for $72,953, remains a unique event, but it proves the potential power of condition, rarity, and collector demand. So, is there a small fortune hiding in your coin jar? Possibly. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is usually common and not worth much, unless you have one in exceptional condition or featuring a rare error. But the story of that $72,000 penny reminds us all why coin collecting is so exciting. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. So grab your magnifier, check those pennies carefully, and if you think you have something special, get it graded. You might just hold one of the rarest modern coins ever discovered. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more coin news and history, and drop a comment below if you've ever found an unusual or high-value penny. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting. Your next great find might be just one coin away. Welcome back, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts around the world. Today, we are diving deep into a seemingly ordinary yet shockingly valuable coin that could be hiding in your pocket, tucked away in an old coin jar, or resting quietly in your childhood coin collection. We are talking about the legendary 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has stunned collectors by reaching an astounding market value of up to $98,476. That's right, a single 1-cent coin, minted in 1996, could be worth nearly $100,000 today. So make sure to stick around to the end, because I'm going to break down everything you need to know, from its fascinating history and rare production characteristics to what makes certain 1996 pennies extraordinarily valuable, how to identify them, and how to sell one if you happen to have this little copper miracle in your hands. Let's start with a quick history lesson to set the stage. The Lincoln cent, or Lincoln penny as it's more commonly known, has been in circulation since 1909. It was created to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original wheat penny eventually gave way to the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse design in 1959, which lasted through the end of 2008. By the time 1996 came around, billions of Lincoln pennies had been produced, many with little to no variation. But every once in a while, the U.S. Mint makes an unintentional error, or a particular batch gets released under unique conditions, and that's when things get exciting for coin collectors. Now let's talk about the 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln penny specifically. Most of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, which traditionally does not include a mint mark on its pennies. That's right, if you find a 1996 penny with no mint mark under the year, it's not necessarily an error in itself. But here's the twist: among these otherwise common pennies, there are extremely rare specimens with abnormal features that drastically increase their value. And those are what collectors are desperately searching for. What kind of features, you ask? Well, here's where it gets very interesting. Some of the most valuable 1996 no-mint mark pennies were struck on transitional planchets, which means the metal composition used was from a previous or subsequent year. Others were struck off-center, or displayed doubling of letters and numbers in what collectors call a double die error. A few may have been accidentally struck on a foreign planchet, making them thinner, lighter, or the wrong color altogether. One of the rarest versions known to the numismatic world is the 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln penny struck on a bronze planchet, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc, even though pennies since 1982 were officially changed to a copper-plated zinc composition. Now here's the part that's going to make your jaw drop. One of these rare varieties of the 1996 no-mint mark penny was authenticated and sold at a premium-level numismatic auction for a staggering price of $98,476. Yes, you heard that correctly, almost $100,000 for a single penny that originally cost just 1 cent to produce. This sale caught the attention of collectors across the globe, sparking renewed interest in the Lincoln Cent series, especially coins minted in the 1990s, an era often overlooked until now. But how can you tell if you've got one of these miracle coins? First, examine your 1996 no-mint marked penny under good lighting. Look carefully at Lincoln's profile and the lettering. Is there doubling in the words Liberty or In God We Trust? Are there signs that the coin may have been struck off-center, or does the rim seem uneven? Is the color different than your average copper-plated zinc penny? And most importantly, does the coin weigh around 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams? If so, you might be holding a transitional error struck on a bronze planchet, one of the rarest known. Next, I highly recommend using a jeweler's loupe or a digital microscope to get a closer look. And if you suspect your coin might be special, do not try to clean it or alter it in any way that could ruin its collector value permanently. Instead, send it to a reputable third-party grading company like PCGS or NGC for professional authentication and grading. These companies can provide you with an official certificate, which will greatly increase the credibility and resale value of your coin. Now let's talk about market demand. The coin collecting community is currently red hot for rare Lincoln Cents, especially those from the 1990s and early 2000s. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and Stack's Bowers are seeing increased bids on rare 1-cent coins, and online marketplaces such as eBay and Etsy are flooded with listings, although many of them are just average coins priced high by hopeful sellers. The true gems, however, the authenticated rare errors and transitional pieces, are commanding jaw-dropping figures from serious collectors and investors. And yes, that includes the legendary 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that was sold for $98,476. So if you have a collection of loose change, now is the time to start looking through it with fresh eyes. That ordinary-looking 1996 penny might just be your ticket to a life-changing payday. Remember, knowledge is power in the world of numismatics, and the more you learn, the more prepared you'll be to spot valuable coins before someone else does. To wrap up, let's summarize the key points. The 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny was produced in large numbers, but a few rare error coins, especially those struck on bronze planchets, or with doubling or off-center strikes, are worth tens of thousands of dollars. One confirmed specimen sold for over $98,000. To identify one, you'll need to check weight, look for doubling or errors, and send it for grading if it looks promising. Never clean your coin, and always authenticate before trying to sell. And that brings us to the end of this deep dive into the 1996 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with massive value. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin insights, and leave a comment down below if you think you might have a rare penny worth money. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny counts when you know what to look for. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a seemingly ordinary coin, the 2015 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks like any other copper-plated zinc coin that millions of Americans spend every day without a second thought. But one extremely rare example of this coin has stunned collectors and numismatists across the globe, recently fetching an astonishing $62,937 in the open market. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny, minted in Denver in 2015, is now worth more than most used cars. In this video, we're going to take a journey through the coin's origin, minting details, unique attributes, why it's so valuable, and how you might be able to find one just like it. History of the 2015 Lincoln Cent. The 2015 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin has undergone a few design changes over the decades, with the most recent major change happening in 2010 when the Union Shield reverse was introduced. The 2015 penny, minted at the Denver Mint, features the familiar profile of President Lincoln on the obverse and a Union Shield design on the reverse, symbolizing national unity. More than 4 billion Lincoln cents were struck that year, including a significant number from the Denver Mint. What makes this coin special? So how does a coin that was mass-produced in the billions suddenly become so valuable? The answer lies in minting errors and rare die varieties that occur during production. While most 2015 Lincoln cents are only worth face value, a tiny handful have left the mint with extraordinary features that set them apart. One known example of the 2015 Lincoln cent features a rare double die error on the obverse, where the details of Lincoln's face, lettering, or date may appear slightly doubled when viewed under magnification. Others have been found with striking off-center errors, clipped planchets, or dramatic die breaks. But the coin that reached over $62,000 at auction had an incredibly rare and dramatic minting anomaly, one that experts believe may be the only known specimen of its kind. It is this kind of rarity, combined with perfect or near-perfect preservation, that makes a coin like this so incredibly valuable. Condition matters. The role of grading coin grading plays a huge role in determining a coin's market value. Graded on a 70-point scale, the closer a coin is to a perfect score of 70, the more valuable it tends to be. The $62,937 2015 penny was graded by a professional grading service at a remarkably high mint state, meaning it was virtually untouched since the moment it left the press. It had strong luster, nearly flawless surfaces, and razor-sharp details, all contributing to its extraordinary final price. If you believe you have a valuable coin, getting it professionally graded is essential for unlocking its full potential in the collector's market. Current market value and demand as of now, the market value of this ultra-rare 2015 penny stands at an eye-popping $62,937. While not every 2015 penny will be worth this much, the attention this coin has received has driven interest in the entire series. Collectors are scrambling to find error coins, high-grade examples, and unique varieties from that year. Coin dealers and auction houses have reported increased inquiries and bidding wars for coins from this particular minting year, especially those bearing the D mint mark and unusual characteristics. How to find one and what to look for? Now you're probably wondering, how can I find a 2015 penny worth thousands of dollars? The first step is to carefully check your loose change, especially penny rolls from banks, coin jars, or even old collections inherited from family members. Look closely at the details on the obverse and reverse. Inspect the lettering, the date, the mint mark, and the overall condition of the coin. Use a magnifying glass or a microscope if you have one. You're searching for doubling in the lettering or numbers, off-center strikes, or any signs of unusual wear, shapes, or cracks. If something doesn't look right or seems out of the ordinary, put that coin aside and consider sending it to a coin grading service for professional evaluation. The importance of education and research. One of the keys to becoming successful in coin collecting, and possibly striking it rich, is continuous learning. Study up on die varieties, minting errors, and grading standards. Join coin collecting communities, attend coin shows, and follow reputable sources online. The more you know, the more likely you are to recognize a hidden gem when it comes your way. The story of the $62,937 2015 penny reminds us that even a coin with a face value of 1 cent can become a life-changing discovery. So there you have it, the incredible true story of a 2015 Lincoln 1 cent penny that defied all expectations and sold for nearly $63,000. Its history, rarity, and pristine condition turned it into a modern numismatic legend. And who knows, maybe you're holding a coin like that in your hand right now. Keep searching, keep learning, and you might just stumble upon a treasure of your own. If you found this video informative, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting content, and share this video with fellow collectors and treasure hunters. Until next time, happy hunting and may your next penny be worth a fortune.